Morning guys, back out here. Bam, look what we got, part-timer here.
How y'all doing?
It's about time he came back. Old Toothless has needed you for quite some time.
Yeah, you know, we just had to work out a time to do this.
Yep, we would have already done this if we weren't finished up our race season.
Yeah.
But now is the time, and I didn't update you guys yesterday more on this thing because I didn't feel like, well, I didn't want to die. So I got Jack underneath the car. It's holding the tranny up, which takes about 2 seconds to pull out with 2 people, but
yep.
Solo dolo here.
Yeah, you don't want to pull that out by yourself.
No.
You end up hurting
That
yourself.
car, the race car, piece of cake by yourself because everything's solid mounted in that car. This ain't, it has solid mounts, but they still move, so it makes it difficult because then the studs get stuck in the tranny and then you're wiggling it, and then, you know,
all of a
next
sudden,
thing you know,
200 pounds of metal's coming at you.
tranny is on your face.
A lot of gravity in that one.
Don't worry guys, it's happened. Promise. So we're getting all set up out here today. It looks like it might actually be a decent day out. It's not gonna be too bad, 65 degrees out, so this is the perfect day to do this. We're gonna early start. We got 2 trannies, kind of like 2 phones.
Yeah.
2 trans. So Aaron brought me up his trans. Those of you that remember Aaron from our last track day video when I broke his 3/4 shift fork, probably is what I broke. Because, well, his car sucks and didn't want to go in gear, and
Yeah.
your boy gets pretty mad and they don't want to go in gear, and I sent her a little too hard.
Yep. Got some special parts for that one. That'll be pretty cool putting that thing in.
Yep. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get all set up. I think we're probably just gonna rip this guy out of here so we have both of them out, and then we can work from there for today. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Nothing like a morning of pulling a trans, right?
You know, could have been worse.
It almost was worse.
Could have been worse.
So guys, I did what I told you guys not to do, and I hooked up the power last night to lock this thing up because I was getting in the trunk. And well, you see, we almost had to use Bob the Builder's duty over here because the shit was sparking and on fire everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the fact that you
And then I got up in a hurry and
you freaked out because it was sparking and sparking and you left the jack going down. So I'm under here like, where's the help?
So he almost died with the transmission, and the car almost died because, well, don't leave your battery hooked up. I promise, it's not worth it. All right, I'm gonna slide old girl out. She's been in and out of these things too many times. This fucking car and its tranny.
Yeah, this trans tunnel has seen some shit.
Some miles.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get this thing out. Oh, that's a great noise.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're just gonna fuck my studs, guy.
Hey, that shit's built.
Not the fucking motor mount. Or the trans mount. Well, at least I drained it.
You did. I mean, but when you drain them, they're still, you know.
There's nothing in there. We're environmental.
Yeah, no, for the sake of the internet, no, there's nothing in that thing that I'm gonna spill all over your table or toolbox or whatever.
Or garbage can again.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what we can find to put this thing on. You can't wait for today. I have stainless tables.
Yeah.
That's coming soon. Well, the race car got moved outside today, get some sunshine tan. And we got 1 trans here because we had to move it out of the way. That's going to be Aaron's trans. And then the more or less non-conventional way to tear your transmission apart. But on your garage floor works.
Yep.
Soon, I'll have some nice tables for you, bud.
It'll be
Getting there, slowly.
Yeah, we'll make it.
For now, this works.
It is what it is, you know.
Makes the job a bit harder.
It takes a little more time, but you know, we all get to the same result. You know, if you don't have the cleanest work area, you can always substitute with more brake clean to make sure everything's nice and clean inside. So,
which we're probably gonna have to go get a good old case of brake cleaner, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're getting this thing torn apart. Don't worry, I'll show you guys what I messed up in there. I think it's gonna be a pretty good show.
Should be pretty good.
Should be pretty good. Yeah. All right, we got the thing standing up like a more conventional way now.
At least for getting it apart.
Obviously, there's not going to be any damage that we know of in here.
No, You're gonna see all my handiwork when we put the differential and stuff back together. We had this old girl setting records.
Bam.
Looks good. Smells terrible. We need to start shipping out stickers with the smell-o-vision.
Oh God. Well, output shaft has a little turn on her. Just a slight initial turn there.
This is
That's the better one of the two.
No, seriously, it is.
So I have the backup one sitting over here. This is the one that, oh shit, that went 8s on Hyper Blue, and
yeah, we got
the light here.
Yeah, we probably got about half the twist on the.
Yeah, that one's not twisted nearly as bad. This one's definitely twisted. She went 8s though.
For all that
matters. Stock output shaft.
Yeah, for all the haters, stock output shaft. You know, what kind of driver are you? Where you're using the stock output shaft going that fast?
You know, they always say stock trans, blah blah blah. I'm sure they have output shafts in them. This actually was 100% original Subaru transmission. No output shaft,
No.
stock rear diff, stock drive shaft.
I would say
everything.
I mean, that was early on in my days of rebuilding these things. I would almost tell you that transmission that set the record was a little bit less than stock. I'm sure there was something in there I left out.
Yeah.
So,
because we changed out the second gear at one point, and because I shredded second gear all the way off.
Yeah. So the story on the original trans to this one was we were in a crunch. He sheared all the teeth off of second gear, so we had to swap it out, and the only donor trans I had was a 05. So the 05 has a different first, second, and reverse gear. So I swapped all of that out, so the original trans to this car had a 05, 1, 2 in reverse. It had the 16, 3, 4, and forks. And then it had a output shaft from somebody else's transmission because the original one blew up. Like,
that was the move.
To tell you that was hacked together, but it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously did really well.
It made some pretty gnarly noises in first gear.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't even tell you to this day what that would have been. But
no, it was probably the way a gear was biting on another gear.
It could have been.
You know, being that we had a different main shaft in there, I'm sure there was something else that was going on. But first gear, she was real noisy, but
probably some kind of clearance, but you know, it was what it was and it did what it did. So, you know, somebody
else. Backstory for you guys, because I know we didn't really have that in the channel back then.
Yeah.
She still sits there, don't worry. It's still my baby girl over there.
Yeah.
She still means more to me than this thing does, or that, or any of them. This one is the one. That's the wifed up one. She'll be with me forever.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get this thing all the way torn apart. Probably got to go make a tool run to get some tools for this thing.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, guys. Here we are. We're ready to see. What did we break? What is it?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I called that one. Straight just sent that fork. Goodbye. There's our problem.
Yeah, that's a factory one-piece unit.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, I knew that's what it was, because I mean, it wasn't like the gear was gone, it just wouldn't go in. Yeah, there she is on the other side. So if you look at this is supposed to be like that guy is. And well, now it's now not like that.
Two-piece deal.
Two-piece deal. But I'm curious to see how fucked up that synchro is, because this thing's been hammered. Watch it be fine. It might have just been the fork this whole time that's been cracked and not really going in gear, but it did grind.
Not at all. It's gonna be there's gonna be more carnage. Yeah, more or less, like a little bit less. It won't be that bad, but the most of the time it's just the fork. When the synchro will be hard, you'll see it in a little bit once we get this all apart, but basically the synchro will wear out and deposit stuff onto the actual speed gear itself. So you'll be able to see all that once it's all apart, and we'll show you how bad the rest of it is, I guess, the stuff you can't see.
Well, we're gonna keep on trucking away, getting this thing apart. I know the lighting's probably real shitty because we got part sun and part garage, but the sunshine's actually pretty nice out today. And this is a lot easier to clean than old porous concrete out there, so rather do it in here. So we're gonna get this gear set out of here, see what we need to change, and yeah, we'll get the thing all back to OEM quality.
Premium.
Hey, look, this is what a good front diff is like. Too bad she's never made enough power to take that one out.
More like it hasn't gone back into first enough to
do
that.
Straight called out.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. It didn't instantly go in the reverse direction. What?
Yeah.
Well, we got the whole gear set sitting here. Getting ready to pull this thing all apart. See more of this carnage. Well, now I got John over beating away. We got this thing all apart. As you can tell, here is our fork. That is well, yeah, it doesn't look like the other one no more. So that's the problem with old Gray's trans.
Holy shit! I'm just kidding.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Got him.
Fucker. Oh yeah, though, bud. Our output's getting some use on it there. I don't know. The camera, we probably have to turn it sideways to see it. She got a nice turn to her. Yeah, that's pretty normal for all of them.
Yeah, it's a twist at the top that gets them.
Yep. They'll get probably an upgrade output shaft at some point for Aaron. But this is Aaron's trans that we're pulling into now because we have to go and use a press to get that stack apart right there. So we might as well take this thing apart just in case we got to take it stacked there. Which I don't know if we're gonna have to.
You know, the plan is I want to get both of these things running the upgraded 4th gear synchros. So I think for the benefit of, well, Aaron's program here and your program in the gray car, I think the carbon synchros are just gonna last longer.
Yeah.
When we take that apart, we'll get a video of how the brass synchro will actually deposit material onto the steel gear. And then at that point, when you have a brass on brass, the brass acts as a little bit more of like a lubricant, so the synchro doesn't bite as hard. So hence why we have to switch to lightweight shockproof. That's because that synchro is not as effective anymore. And the shockproof doesn't have as much of that slippery additive, so it actually lets the synchro do its job. And it's also a lighter fluid, so it lets all of the internal gear train components spin a little more freely. So that's the benefit of why shockproof helps a stock transmission. But when you know you're going to be sending it and racing on it, and maybe you're not going to be the nicest to it, it doesn't hurt to just throw shockproof in it as a preventative. You obviously in the RA, that car got shockproof in it before it really ever made it past. Because that's just how I think the reason why the 19 or 18 plus transmissions, I think it was a change in the oil from Subaru, and I think that the oil is just not as good because my boy Nathan has a 20 STI, and I'll go like beat on that thing, and it's like you go from 3rd to 4th, and it doesn't grind, but you can tell that it like hits as it's going in. So even on 2020, the car is 100% stock outside of a tune, and the transmission's not
not bad.
He's missed a couple gears while we've been tuning, and it's not the transmission's fault. It's the oil in it. So I don't know. We'll update you as this stuff comes more apart.
You like how to get these clips apart?
I do. Yeah, that's your job.
Oh, thanks. Whatever, struggle bus.
You're in.
I'm in. Yeah, this thing is like
they're so hard. They're
built
annoying.
up. Look at the fluid there. God dang, Aaron, what in the world has this thing been through?
What year is this car?
2015.
Oh, this is look
at that. Yeah, I did it one finger with the camera.
Bro. Oh my God. All right. Well, yeah, that might just be deposits. It might have had numbers matching fluid in it for a good portion of its early life. And then, maybe, I don't know.
It doesn't look like it has shockproof in it.
Yeah, no, I don't know if Aaron bought the car new or not, but
no, he didn't.
If he didn't, then, people don't know to, change the fluid in their transmission.
Yeah,
It'll help. I mean, even new fluid, you'll be amazed at how much better it shifts. So,
well, let's get the thing apart.
Yep.
Hot mess version 2.
Oh, yeah.
So we found the issue now that you took your gloves off.
Well,
but there's no real sense to even try it. Oh, you're just gonna grab it anyways.
You got enough dish soap. I'll be fine. So here's your 3/4 slider. So you got obviously 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, and 6th gear. You about gotta hit that with a hammer to make it move, and that would be because right here. There's these little teeth in here. We'll show you this more when it comes apart, but it ground hard enough in 4th gear where it rounded all the teeth over, and now these teeth don't want to slide back forward over the hub here. So yeah, this thing's pretty much, I don't know.
It's pretty much dickered, mate.
I'm probably gonna hurt my hands trying to move that, but yeah, it's
Only sent her a little too hard there, bud.
Homie is hammered, but we got the parts to fix it and have this thing ripping.
At least Gray's wasn't messed up, so we do have the parts to fix it.
Yeah, no. Well, I was worried. I only brought one of these hubs, so Gray's transmission. It was that one was okay, but this one is hammered, and this is obviously the one that needs it. Yeah. But got new synchros for both of them. Will be dialed in, and then this one's gonna get that specialty fork. Although, here's something to show you guys. That is what sustained damage there, and that was, I think, just because the synchro got worn out and it's old. This is the fork from his, and you know, looks a little bit different than the one that came out of yours. Now that it's all apart, we can show them
side by side here.
Side by side, you know, you can see the amount of material that got chewed up on Josh's right there, and then on this one, this is the beginnings of the damage where you start to wear your fork pads away, the fork pads fall off, you start wearing into it. But I mean, this is the extreme extent. This is what happens when you're just
salvage title.
Yeah, you're pulling on that stick. You know, it honestly probably broke because it wore so much material away. It was too weak to, you know, hold back the forces. And
the sauce.
I know this thing has the sauce. It has that RPM going for it. So this shaft's spinning for its fucking life here.
That thing saw 10K.
Oh yeah. So and it went in the race car.
10K too.
Just about. Yeah, you can see this is the beginnings of beating on a car at the track. So we're doing pretty good. We got to take our shafts to go press them apart and put the new parts on them, and we'll update you with how all that stuff comes apart.
Sounds good. Let's go.
But it's all, you know, the bloopers and stuff.
We're ready.
So here we have both transmissions torn apart. We have your boys right here, and we have Josh's over here.
Equally fucked.
They're pretty bad. On Josh's transmission, the synchro here has totally wiped out. All these edges, or all the little teeth on the inside of the synchros, are flattened out. This is from one of your really
that's when, you know,
high RPM
it doesn't go in, but you keep pulling.
Yeah, that's what that is. It saw some heat anyway. And then we got Aaron's over here. I took it apart just a little bit, but this is his slider, and basically, like, I mean, that should just, I mean, here's a new one. I mean, it should just fall apart and fall together. This thing, nothing is gonna get this to slide smoothly, so that's why the shifter was so hard to move. And then here is those engaging teeth that I said got hammered. So if you have a grind in your Subaru transmission, or really any manual transmission for that, you want to take care of that as soon as possible, or you'll wear the engaging teeth out, and this is what'll cause a really notchy transmission. But yeah, so we're gonna get this deal all put back together with the fresh slider, and then I got these over here in this box. These are my, what I'll call like a stage 1 or upgraded synchro. They're carbon inner cone, so these do a better job. They don't do what the brass rings do and smooth out. These ones will this material can't be compressed, and you won't have anything where this can't deposit it. The carbon ring can't deposit itself on the cone of the gear. So this is like an upgrade. And with Aaron's transmission, it's Aaron, right?
Yeah, he's
getting a billet fork. So the nice thing with that is as hard as you can pull on the stick is all it's gonna do is make it go into gear better. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna put all this back together, and I'll show you final assembling everything in the case.
Sounds good. Now we'll get the seams going, then back to assembly.
Yes.
Now we're back in good old garage.
Full assembly mode here. Picking up where we left off. So we were at the shop. We got everything all assembled back together as a what I'll call like a unit, or a gear stack unit. So this is basically everything right before it goes into the case of the transmission. So we're gonna start on doing that, assembling the cases, and we'll have this thing back together. This one here got the new fork here.
Yeah, Aaron decided to push out, and we put the OEM fork.
Recording?
Yeah.
Right on. So over here watching TikToks, but
Our camera died.
Our camera died. This is what I would call a unit, certified unit. We got a new 4th gear fork, a new 3/4 slider. This is all going together for Aaron's car. He cheaped out and didn't want to do the billet fork, so he's going back together with a regular fork. I'll be honest with you, with him behind the wheel of it, I don't think he's going to be yanking that stick back forward into 3rd and back into 4th hard enough to really hurt it. So it's only when you get people like you behind the wheel that stuff like this starts to break. But you know, your Series Gray is a fully built unit with the billet fork now.
Series Gray got a nice little upgrade that I didn't care to do, but I did. So now it has a billet fork in it, and you know, most of you guys would probably say, why not, since we've already broke 2 in that car. I think it's the car's fault. I don't think it's the driver's fault.
You fight the car, and then the car is just like, nope. So you gotta fix the weak links, and I know that'll benefit you in that thing. So this should be good for you, I guess.
Wow. Well then, ready to get this in the good old housing?
Yep.
Okay.
Get it all together.
Now I gotta help him. So you guys are gonna see this thing jump forward. Well, we're definitely making progress.
Yeah, got the unit within the bell housing here with all the sealants on it. And now I'm just prepping the center case piece to slip on top of that. So it's moving along nicely. I also got to put the main shift fork through here. But yeah, it's turning out good. About to have a whole transmission for Aaron to come and pick up, and should be able to beat on it for quite a bit longer.
Yep, so we'll get the center section on, and then we'll go to the back housing. Well, back out here in the morning.
Yeah,
made good progress.
Yeah.
We got our nice solid billet unit there. Nothing like starting the morning off with a good old transmission lift.
No, it's the worst.
It's not really what we want to do this morning, but it's what we got to do. So we are going to be doing that. Aaron's trans is not too far behind. Just needs the rear tail housing put on. So while I'm putting this in, Sean's going to finish that thing up, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah,
maybe get a first drive. There's still a lot of odds and ends to do on this thing, and we have other things that we have to do today. So that might wrap up the video once we get the trans in, and we might have to come back to this. We'll see.
We'll see.
And bam, just like that, Gray is all put back together. Transmission is all back in the car. Everything is pretty much situated. I do need to reconnect these, which I don't think it's gonna, yeah, you can see it moves right there. Ball joint is not hooked up yet, so I do need to redo that. Once I do that, everything is back together. I do have a gas can there because, like I mentioned before, this thing had just E85 in it, so I'm gonna be draining the tank out of this thing to put pump gas in it, because this doesn't have a flex fuel kit, and not having a flex fuel kit, I'm pretty used to this now with switching back and forth from fuels. Even if I ran this thing down to quarter tank or below down to gaslight, it seems like it would still be like E20 in there, and being E20, that means if I tune this thing on pump gas, I would be able to get quite a bit more timing out of it. So I'm just going to go ahead, absolutely drain this tank all the way, and then put pump gas in it just to make sure we're as close to that E10 as possible. So that way when I do tune this thing, I don't have to come back and readjust it. It's just one and done. It is going to get held back because it only has ID 1050X injectors in it. It does have a Walbro 450, so I'll be curious how much that will actually help us in this case. I still believe we're going to run out of injector anyways. As you guys have seen, these injectors usually run out right around the 450 to 470 range. Yeah, you could bump up base pressure, and you've seen us get 500 out of them, but we're at the limits of the injector. We're 100% IDC, so definitely it does need bigger injectors. This is just what I have. Like I said, I don't want to pull the ID 2000s out of the RA to put them in here and then retune that and then go through that. I would rather just buy more injectors, guys. So for now, this thing's gonna have 1050s in it, and you guys probably already put 2 and 2 together. John already has left. Unfortunately, I didn't get to get him on camera saying goodbye, so I'm sorry, John. He's already gone. Look at that, I got a nice new haircut of what's left up here, and I know a lot of you want me to just shave it off, but I just haven't brought myself to do it yet, so you guys are gonna have to just deal with it for now. So beautiful day out. You'll notice in the background here, I got Stephanie's car all finished up. He has a 7275 with one of our front facing, headlight facing turbo kits. You guys may have seen this in the background, and those of you that haven't, This thing is just getting wrapped up, and he is doing the break-in on the car. He's going to be leaving the country for a bit, so he wants to store the car away, and I put the first 70 miles on this thing, so it's ready to go. On wastegate, it made 501 and 411 wheel torque. That was on 23 pounds of boost. Pretty conservative timing, conservative fuel, because, well, it's a brand new motor. I just did the poll to make sure the whole map was completely clean, set up, ready to go for when we do get that dyno set up to tune this thing. So that thing's going to be going away for a bit, guys. I'm sorry you're not going to get to see it for a bit, but don't worry, it'll be going on the dyno. You guys will get to see it, and then we'll actually be on a real dyno. Can't wait. You guys are going to have to get your first time with, I'm looking at this, what the heck is that? I don't know what that is. There's a little mark on there. But you guys are going to get pretty familiar with the dyno. Obviously, it seems like we are tuning more and more every day. I have been offering e-tuning as well. If you guys have seen on our Instagram, I have been posting a couple things on there, and I have been getting more into e-tuning. I do enjoy it. Before I hadn't offered it at all. Now as I get more time under my belt, more comfortable with the platform and more comfortable with the software, you'll probably see me do more of that. But I still like in-person tuning, guys. I'm excited to tune this thing. 6266, like I mentioned before, not the normal turbo I usually use. Those of you that are listening to this, I would recommend a 6466 all day, every day over this. This actually, from what I've seen in the past, has spooled slower and they make less power than a 6.4 would. So 6.4 would definitely be the turbo to go to. This was just a good deal. It was low mileage and I got it for pretty cheap, so it just made sense for this. This is winter car, pump gas, not like we're trying to make 900 wheel anyways on this thing. Motor's not rated or able to even make that. Well, maybe with how all these stock motors are going. Maybe this built motor will make that much. No, it won't. It'll crack a sleeve, because this is one of our stage 3s in here, guys. And what a stage 3 is in our terms, because everybody has their own stages, guys. The only reason why we use stages is it makes my job easier for when you guys are inquiring about a motor. I have a quick stage to refer to. You know, I don't really care for stages, you know, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage a million. It doesn't really matter. It's just, it's a easier, quicker reference for business. That's just what it is, guys. So for those of you wondering why we use stages, that hopefully answers that. Like I said, this is a stage 3. Our stage differ from others out there. Our stage 3 is still a factory Subaru case. It just has drop-in pistons and H-Tough rods, and it is blueprinted to our custom specs. So that's what's in here, is one of those. It has our stage 3 cylinder heads on here, with the exception of being ported. These are still stock ports, unfortunately. So usually our stage 3 headset have ported heads. These just being stock ports, BC280s. So we'll be able to rev this thing out and definitely make a really good car for pump gas and fun. So let's get right to work. Like I said, that's pretty much wrapped up. I just have the ball joints. I need to switch the tires off because, like I said, I put the snow tires on so the wife doesn't die on these radials here. I do need a drain tank. So that's going to wrap up the video on this. I'm going to save the other one of draining tank and tuning the car onto a different one, because I know this video is already lengthy for you guys. This has been throughout 3 days, and I know I said I'll see you guys tomorrow. I did, just not technically because I didn't put this video up. So apologize. I'm trying to get back with it, guys. I know that we've been kind of sucking this month with YouTube, but there's a lot going on in the background and just getting caught up. So I'll try to do better this month. If anything, it's really going to pick up at the end of the month to next month with getting into the new shop and getting set up. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for Tuning Gray. So I'll see you guys in the next video.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you lemons, you just put them in Coronas. Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus. The bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment. The moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning. I'm zoning, I'm zoning, fast lane. Living life up in the fast lane. Living life up in the fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal